So multi-millionaire Jesse Waters went on the PBD podcast, and he gave us this incredible moment. Watch this.
If you're making $20 an hour to work at a fast food restaurant, right? Is that six figures? Are you making...
No.
Are you a fucking moron? $20 an hour you think is six figures? Jesus Christ, what a dumbass. Holy fuck, he's not smart. That's the like a lot of these people who are on TV, they're not only bad at their jobs, they're all like just fucking idiots. Just total fucking morons. You didn't know that? Oh my God.
Is that six figures? Are you making...
No.
40
grand.
50 is just two exits and add a few zeros.
Yeah. Okay, so...
40K a year,
okay,
full time.
40K a year.
Yeah.
So, and then if your husband or wife is also there, you're making $100,000 as a family.
Okay, they just established it'd be 40 grand a year. Then they say, if your wife works there, that would be 80, not 100. 80, not 100. If you think that's not a big difference, send me a check for the difference there. Send me a check for $20,000, Jesse. Because that's not a big difference, right? So two people working full-time at a fast food restaurant would be 80, and that's pre-taxes, right? And the 20 is in only the absolute places that pay the most, like California. And by the way, rent there is incredibly high. Everything there is incredibly expensive. So an actual living wage in California, get this, is $27 an hour. So still on one salary, that wouldn't be enough to live. On the two, you could get by, but it'd be fucking tight, man. You would not be living in luxury. That's for damn sure. You'd barely be able to get by. Barely. Okay, let's keep it going.
40K a year. Yeah. So, and then if your husband or wife is also there, you're making $100,000 as a family.
Sure.
Both working at McDonald's?
80 grand. 80 grand.
That is, okay, that's crazy. That is crazy. Because that job really doesn't require much. So it's inflating the entire, labor sector.
And the Happy Meal.
And the Happy Meal.
Unhappy, very unhappy.
Jesse, let me explain something to you. You are a pampered little prick frat boy who makes tens of millions, probably, a year for running your mouth on TV and talking about how much you dislike liberals and Democrats and women and black people and Muslims and every minority group under the sun. You get to go out there and give your shitty political opinions on a daily basis, and you make millions and millions of dollars to do that. You provide much less value to the system than a fast food worker does. They work harder than you. It's a more noble profession than what you're doing. He gets paid millions or tens of millions to run his mouth and give his political opinions on TV. And then he goes out, he has the nerve to go out there. His main beef here, fast food workers get paid too much money. I just told you, even in a best case example, where it's $20 an hour in California, the living wage is $27 an hour. So in other words, if it is one person, let's say they're single, one person works full-time, doesn't make enough money to survive. Jesse Waters looks at that and he says, they should make less. I know you already work full-time and don't make enough money to survive. I still want you to make less. I want to force you to have to get a second job or a third job. And this is usually where they chime in and they go, yeah, but the minimum wage is just for like kids in summer jobs to get a start. Turns out we have statistics on it. That's not true. Most people who make the minimum wage, that's their job. That's their job. Not everybody can get the promotion, Jesse. Not everybody could work their way up the ladder. Not everybody gave Bill O'Reilly a hand job behind Fox News Studios in order to get his spot on air. Of all the things to complain about, of all the things to be upset about, this motherfucker went on a podcast and said to hundreds of thousands of people, the problem is minimum wage workers get paid too much money. What am I supposed to do with that? And then he'll have the nerve to go out there and say, the presidential candidate I support, Donald Trump, is for the working man and the working woman. You just did a whole screed against working men and working women here. That's what you just did. You were just shitting on somebody who busts their ass and works hard for a living at a fast food place. You were just shitting on them. Then you'll pretend Trump is for the working man and woman and Biden's against them. You are clearly against the working man and working woman. Because you don't respect somebody who works at a fast food restaurant. It is immeasurable how much more good those people do than Jesse Waters. Jesse Waters is a net negative to the system. His whole job is to just make people dumber, more hateful, more in favor of the billionaires' agenda. That's his whole fucking job. Let me just say dumb, ignorant, stupid things on a daily basis and get paid millions and millions of dollars for it a year. Listen, I'm going to make this very... Anybody, including me, including other people in the new media space, the old media space, anybody who can make a living by talking, shut the fuck up. Sit this one out, okay? Sit this one out. Anybody who actually has to do some physical ass shit to pay the bills, and in this instance, get paid less than what they need to survive, I can't. I can't, man. I can't. And anybody who works full-time should make enough money to survive. Anybody. He looks down his nose. Smug, condescending prick. He looks down his nose at people who happen to work in fast food. It's disgusting to me. It's absolutely disgusting. I mean, if these guys had their way, man, I truly wonder what percentage of the country would work jobs where they get paid total shit if he had his way. You know? To him, it's like only Wall Street douchebags who provide nothing of value, they can make millions a year. Media assholes like him who provide nothing of value, he can make millions a year. But like anybody else, do it, teacher, construction worker, nurse, guy at the bank teller, fucking fast food workers, like all those people. It's just like, I don't care if you're in debt up to your eyeballs. I don't care if you have to live under the bridge. Fuck you. Get paid less money. And by the way, final point on the idea of inflation there at the end. Look, it's just not true. We actually covered the story the other day. What was it, at In-N-Out? It was at some burger place in California. They had the before and the after. Before the $20 wage, which by the way is not a minimum wage law. It's a sectoral bargaining law. So all the fast food workers came together and negotiated, and that's what they got. But the difference was like 10 cents for a burger, maybe 20 cents for something else. It's fucking nothing. If you tell me you have to pay 10 cents more for your cheeseburger, but this person can now get health care, or this person makes $3 an hour more per hour, $3 an hour more per hour, that's funny, $3 more per hour, it's like, of course I'd make that trade-off. Of course. Who fucking wouldn't? Who wouldn't? Like, yeah, okay, we can all have cheap plastic shit from China and pay like $1 for a toy for your kid. Or you can have that shit made in the US and you pay $2.50 or $3 for it, and somebody gets to make a living and have a decent life. I'm definitely picking the slightly higher price with better social outcomes. These guys are just, neoliberalism has rotted their brain, where it's just like everything is a race to the bottom. Everything is the cheapest fucking thing imaginable, filled with lead paint and all sorts of garbage, some Chinese slave factory with children in it working away to try to get you this cheap plastic shit. At the end of the day, what's it all for? What's it all for? So some factory owner can get wealthy by padding his pockets because the profit margin is bigger with some Malaysian factory versus paying workers decent here? Like, what are we talking about here? No, this guy, he wants a fucking broken system is what he wants. He wants a broken system. He's complaining fast food workers get paid too much money. No. You know who gets paid too much money? You. You know who gets paid definitely not enough money? Not just fast food workers. Anybody who's actually working for a living. Jesus Christ. All right, guys. That's the show. I love you all very much. You know the drill. Everybody please click like, click subscribe, click that bell icon so you get a notification every time a video drops. Leave a comment, whatever, all that fun stuff. Thank you to everybody who supports this show on Patreon. If you'd like to do that, that link's below. You can also tip with the thanks button on YouTube below as well. Remember, I never talk to any advertisers ever, so you guys help fund this show from the ground up. I can't thank you enough. Please consider doing that if you haven't yet, and I'll talk to you guys later. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.